Okay, what is on page 200?
I know, right?
Because I'm on page 200.
I don't know if I want to give it because, like, you know, somebody who hadn't read it yet.
Well,
We all read
finished.
it.
I haven't finished. I just started.
Oh,
But
you
I
mean-
can say this. In reading this book, it was very emotional for me. And I kept going downstairs, having a conversation with Terry. It wasn't the conversation she thought we were going to have, because I felt as though somebody got my journal and was writing my story. Even the words that was being said, it was so identical and parallel to my own, and even the wording was so parallel to my words that I found myself kept putting the book down. And then I flip over and say, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Only to flip back over to grab the book and keep reading it, because I kept saying, I have to see where this is going and what more is so parallel. And what I've got out of it so far in reading is that the same thing I was getting out of my life and walking it. You keep walking and you can identify that you're dealing with situations and you know it's not right, but at the same time you're looking at that hindsight being 20/20 and you're watching ahead to make sure you don't fall in those same pitfalls as you continue to walk, and you try to keep your eyes wide open, but then somebody else comes up and grab you and give you a feeling that you like, and then you start chasing that feeling only to find out, oops, dang, I did it again, goddamn. And so you have to continue that journey to find your pathway and to find your truth and to find your peace.
Wow.
That was good.
Wow. And that concludes our book discussion. Thank you for joining me.
Let y'all know. That's y'all know. Okay, that's it.
And I'm with Dorian. When I first started reading it, especially in the beginning when when Corey was with her husband, and I was like, damn, she talking about me. Here I am, you know, and it's like I knew before I got married that I was a lesbian, but because of my upbringing and the life I was living at the time, I would have never come out. So I got married, I had the kid, and I wanted to leave, and so finally got the strength to leave, only to be told that it was my fault. And I thought that maybe I was doing something wrong because I'd always been taught that, the homosexuals go into hell.
From the blind.
I mean, I was raised in a missionary Baptist church, daddy a deacon, mama usher, grandmother evangelist. I can't come out because I'm going to hell, So I got married again. It didn't solve the problem because the problem was with me. So, and when she finally got the courage to leave home, I was like, yes, she finally, is doing her, being happy for herself. And I think a lot of women, especially our age, can relate to that because a lot of us have done what my mother called the straight and narrow. Mm-hmm. You grow up, you meet a man, you get married, you have kids, and then you just be miserable for the rest of your life because you stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, I especially like the very beginning of it when the characters, Corey and Layla. Mm-hmm. And I was reading, I was like, damn, that's me and my ex. I was like, okay, and I kept reading, and there was a portion in there where the character knew way ahead of time that Layla really wasn't right for her. She knew it, but she was staying in a relationship because she thought it was going to get better. And I thought, that's where I was. I went in a relationship, knew the relationship wasn't right, knew it wasn't right the first date, but stayed in it anyway because I figured, well, this is just a learning curve. This is something we got to grow into. This is going to get better. For 5 years, that's all I kept telling myself. And I kept believing in it more and more. It'll get better, it'll get better, it'll get better. And it didn't get better. And, it took courage, unlike your character where the Layla walked away from her. I walked away from my ex. So, that was my part I related to the most. I was like, damn, how many other people can relate to this first part right here of that first relationship that doesn't work? You know it's not going to work, but you stay in it anyway for all the what you consider the right reasons, but it's the wrong reasons. So yeah, that was pretty good. But the whole book actually kept me. I think I got the book. I think the book came that Tuesday.
Yep.
And I think I started reading it that, I started reading that Thursday. It was funny because
at home so I can read it.
I said, no, I'm taking it to work. She's like, you're not gonna read it. I said, watch me. You know, so. But I really didn't get a chance to read it. I read bits and pieces of it, but actually when I got home that night, I started reading it and I could not put it down. I just had to see where was she gonna go. That bus scene really tripped me out. I was like, oh no! And then the whole J part where, her so-called friend stole her business, and I'm just reading this, and I just could not put it down. And they kept saying, I need to go, and this is the only thing I kept going. I was like, I need to go to sleep. I need, and I just fell asleep and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I woke up the next morning, went down. She was asleep. I ran downstairs and stuff, got my coffee, and finished the rest of it. I was like, damn, I like a book that keeps you intrigued and stuff, and want to see what's going to happen to the good guy. So
yeah, and I wanted to beat those kids' ass.
Oh my God!
They know they was wrong. I'm sorry.
I kept looking at your picture to connect to you because I don't know you. And so I kept looking at your picture, and I would go back and I read it. And I go like this again, and I have to get to the light because, I need glasses. I'm like, hey,
Right, when she came in, I was like checking out your fashion, like, what's she wearing today?
You know, it was completely separate for me. Like, I don't know you, but when we got word of the book, it was like, just from, the girls that we know that knew you, it was like, oh, I wonder if this is happening. And so when we finally got it, I'm like, okay, great, I can't wait to read it. And for me, I kind of linked you to it, but not really. To me, I came at it almost to the point of you were just an author, and this had nothing to do with your life at all. So when you came in today, I'm like, oh, there's the author. It wasn't like this is her, not even a, loosely based story of you. I didn't take it anything from you. So for me, the experience was just really more so, what's going to happen. And I was having the same experience with it where when he finished, immediately I'm like, give me the book. And I'm at work and I'm taking, an hour and a half lunch,
I used to read that book, or I'm downstairs and like, this is what happened. I was to tell him the book.
Yeah, he told me the whole book. And I'm like, okay, well, great. I still want to read it. So
we had discussions.
Yeah.
That's good.
And it was just very captivating. And what I did pull out of it, kind of the same thing that you pulled out of it, was just the fact of, I'm not a woman, so I didn't get married to a man and have kids, but just the point of coming to a realization of who you are and what's happening in your life, and in a sense, trying not to live a double life, and discovering who you are, deciding that's what you want to do and be in your life, and being happy and comfortable with that. And that's something that I definitely experienced in my life. And there's no way that I could be anybody other than me. And, growing up, because my mom's a Jehovah's Witness, so I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. And I knew even then, this doesn't fit me. Everyone likes me for who I am, and I'm the same person, same personality, same mannerisms. Half of my friends have always been women, always. But, to the point of saying, well, this is, homosexuality is wrong and I need to marry one of these good Christian women, it just was never me. And, the courage that Corey found in here, I totally related to. And the comfortability with self.
I have a question. And just listen to what Jermaine is saying, listen to what Dorian has said, and Terry has said. In writing the book, is your dream to continue writing books, or is it to do more with because like what I'm hearing so many people saying, it's like bringing up so much in everybody's experiences, and a lot of these young kids coming up today, they need to hear stuff like this. Like maybe they're not going to read it the same way, but kind of what we're saying in here, it would be great hearing for them young kids to hear, to maybe prevent some of this stuff that we've all been through. So I wasn't sure is that part of you writing and getting this message out there, the like messages that you're talking about? Not like children's, but I mean like these little young studs out here and stuff.
Little
Young adult
Jamie.
book would be good to do. To answer your question, yes. When I said earlier that I do things on purpose, I do things on purpose. Things that I have sons, and things that I teach in this book or talk about in this book are the very same things that I talk to them about. I try and all the younger people that are around me, like my nieces, you know, my nephews, whatever, I try and talk to them about different things also. But there's going to be another book that'll come just after this one. And that book is going to be about the perception of abandonment. A lot of times we think about, you know, we were like abandoned in our childhood and how it carries over into life. It's going to be some of the same characters, Elin Harris. It's going to be some of the same characters that was in this book, and it'll go a little bit into detail and just really talking about the perceptions of abandonment. But yes, I have a publishing company that I'm working with, well, that's mine, and I have my younger daughter, she's my stepdaughter, and she writes like children's books. She hasn't really written anything like out there yet, but I'm trying to get her to, from her point of view, as a child from a lesbian stepmother, to talk about. So I have things that are, you know, in the works. Things are, it's going to be slow happening, but it's in the works. It's in the works.
A book series like that is really needed. From the group that I help co-facilitate down at Affirmations, we work with the children of lesbian and, well, same-sex relationships, because it's not all lesbians. And a book series like that would be really helpful.